Hello, 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 my darling loves. How are you? Good to see you. Oh my gosh, are we loving this? Oh my goodness, she's so precious. I love this. Yeah, when I was I want to say 10 years old through 17 off and on, I loved a butterfly clip. I've always loved an accessory. The only thing that separates us from the animals is our ability to accessorize, as we know. That's a line from uh, Steel Magnolias. Anyway, welcome to See Like Sheba. And I am so proud of myself. I just got these off of Depop. It was like someone was selling it's like a bag full of butterfly clips. And I was like, $4? Oh, thank you. Love it. Perfect. Yeah. Oh my God, so cute. Such a goddess. Which will come up later. And okay, what did I do today? Okay, so I've been taking my baths. I've been being in my Queen of Sheba, embodiment, and I recently got some tea baths from this place, Enoki Bath House, and it's I remember at Seoul Spa, the old Korean spa near in Woodlawn. Um, they had one of their tubs. It was herbal tea soak, and now I have that in my home. So I took a 2.5 hour bath, and it came with an incense. It was called Ancient Forest, which is my vibe. That's kind of who I am. I feel like an ancient forest in human form. But yeah, it was so lovely. So lovely. And yeah, Billy made us some delicious dinner. And yeah, oh my goodness, so cute. Just saw that Trump bombed Iran. Dumb. What I say? Stay home, GI. Um, and yeah, I hope the good guys win. So I'll leave it at that. BB says, cutie. We're such a beautiful power couple. Thank you, my love. Yeah, that's fun. I've been wanting to have more trinkets and things. I feel like that is with my energy, and so I'm gonna get me some rings and little adornments. Yes, okay. So the other day was Juneteenth, and it got me thinking about one, how white people will knowingly do the wrong thing, resolutely do the bad, immoral thing that they have been profiting off of and they've been previously getting away with. They will do that until they are forced to stop at gunpoint. That's the moral of Juneteenth. They'll know they're telling a lie. They know they're not doing anything. They know no one can really make them do anything unless at gunpoint. And so yeah, that was Juneteenth. And so it also got me thinking about how Black people were free for 2.5 years. Free, technically freed. And the white people just refuse to admit it, agree, say anything, do anything about it, act differently. Which I was thinking it's just because someone says you're not free, someone else says you're not free, does not mean that you're not free. You know what I mean? Your freedom is not contingent on whether or not a white person agrees. And like we've forgotten that, over the past couple hundred years, which I think, yeah, white people want us to forget that. But like, yeah, our freedom is not contingent on whether or not like a white person has said so in writing, right? Um, and that had me also thinking about like my student loans, how my student loans were forgiven because they're made up, and they actually were forgiven back in May of 2024. So like, I got official notice of it. When was that? Like over 6 months later, when I asked about it proactively. I was like, I think I'm done. um, and yeah, like when I inquired about it, they were like, yeah, you've actually been free for almost a year now. And me, of course, I knew it. I had already called it for years. I was like, I'm done. I'm not making any more payments on that. So I knew I was free, and I acted accordingly. Which was, yeah, just like calling to like double check, because I know how these white people are. They will get away with it until forced to. So yeah, like I was free even before these white people told me in writing that I was free of the student debt. So again, my freedom is not contingent on whether white people are aware or agree or have written it down, yeah. So yeah, I wrote, freedom starts in your thoughts. Yep. Yeah, your freedom is not contingent on whether white people agree. But yeah, like I feel like that's in lots of like songs and like messaging. We like know, free your mind and the rest will follow. Freedom is in your mind. So yeah, like that's something that I think we all would do well to incorporate, and that like you are responsible for your freedom. Like you certainly don't want to leave it up to white people, okay? Because they will do everything they can to prevent that from happening. So like they'll do anything they can to like, keep you a little bit tethered, a little bit unfree. They're like, come on, you like the bondage a little bit. You like it. Admit it. And like you really gotta be serious with these white people. They like give them an inch, they'll take a fucking mile. And then they'll be like, oh, what? Oh, that was so long ago. Who knows what we said back then? Now it's going to be too hard to do anything different. Bro, don't let these white people get away with this. And by this, you know what I mean. I mean everything. Don't let them get away with it. We're not doing it again. We're not doing it again one more generation. Nope. I would say like it ends with us. It already ended. So everyone start like rearranging your understanding, your lens, your perspective on what's going on. So yeah, that brings me to you don't have to do anything others say you have to do. Which I feel like we're seeing on a large scale, like in many different ways, with Israel and Trump and Kamala and the Democrats and ICE and the Zionists. And I think we can all just, like, I'm seeing like, oh, it's all made up. And you can kind of just do whatever you want. And like it's up to you, the proverbial you, to like move things along or change things or pivot. So like that, it's so funny. I wrote these notes like a couple days ago, but like I don't know if it's true, but I saw there are American soldiers in Israel, occupied Palestine. Um, and like, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, you're the bad guys. That I would say like history is going to show that, but like current present day analysis, like it's obvious that like you guys are doing the wrong thing, and like everyone should like root against you. You should root against you. So like the you know if you're gonna go, which you don't have to. I was talking about this with my therapist, and she was like, "Yeah, but like they can be like court-martialed if they don't." Go to jail. Okay, it's better than like being locked in the mental prison of the like spiritual prison of like knowing you're doing a bad thing and you're like destroying a lot of people's lives and unaliving a lot of people. Like, yeah, you should go to jail. Um, Especially like the military, like you're supposed to be like comfortable being in uncomfortable situations and landscapes and environments, bare bone things, like might as well be in a jail. Conscientiously objecting and refusing to do this like terrible, like senseless thing that you're probably gonna lose. You're probably gonna get that ass whooped. Like, I think we, like Americans, we've just been like taught a lot of propaganda about our own like superiority and our supremacy. And like, I don't know. I don't think when you're in there, I don't think your heart's gonna be in it. And it's just gonna be like, and it's gonna be really bad when you get back because I'm gonna be, famous by then, and I'm gonna be going hard against you. So better make the right choice. Better just make the right choice now, while it's easy. But anyway, you don't have to do anything others say you have to. And so people are like, oh, they have no choice. Just like the lessons of Juneteenth and my student loans. Just because white people say you're not free to do something does not mean it's true. Doesn't mean it's true. And you gotta call their bluff. You gotta test it. Yeah, you don't have to adopt the meaning anyone else assigns to something. What did I mean by that? You don't have to adopt the meaning anyone else assigns to something, to a symbol. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe I'm talking about the BB effect. Shout out. About, the distance between the symbol and like the thing. Yeah, maybe what's coming to mind is like, oh yeah, they're trying to make like, free Palestine, um, or, from the river to the sea. Uh, just objectively like neutral to positive things. They're trying to make it like, oh, obviously that's anti-Semitic. Obviously that's hate speech and calling for violence. Like, I don't have to adopt that meaning. I don't have to do that. Who said that? Why would I adopt that meaning? Actually, um, and yeah. Oh, another thing that comes to mind just now. Intifada. Like I saw, like they're trying to make Islamicist and anything like Arabic sounding is supposed to be this terror, like this horrible barbaric thing, and I'm like, babes, we are the bad guys, we are the barbarians, we are the terrorists, and by we, you know what I mean, Americans. It's embarrassing. It's 2025, okay? We like the jig is up, okay? Um, an old man, an old like civil rights kind of man who's like kind of a liberal now. uh, commended me recently because I'm redirecting my energy from this one group to, bro, I'm focusing like completely on like the liberation of Palestine and yeah, like developing myself in order to uh, be more, powerful and helpful in that pursuit. And so, yeah, I'm like, I've called all my energy back to me. And that includes from like other, projects and things that I'm doing mostly because like I like the person who told me about the thing, But this is like, you know, Thundercats or go. It's a all hands on deck kind of situation. And so, yeah. But yeah, like this older man, was like, that's commendable of me to pivot like that. And yeah, I think we haven't been taught to pivot, but man, knowing when to leave a party, knowing when to change direction, so important. It's so funny because I think my last episode was titled like something about like go with the flow, but also yeah, do that, but like also be prepared to pivot. Like when you're on a, I'm thinking of like being on a like a lazy river, like you go with the flow, but sometimes you can also get a stick and like you know like push yourself off of the the bank or like go in a different direction, and it's still fun and awesome and the correct way to go down a river. So yeah. um and like maybe that's something we're supposed to be like teaching the older generation. They were mistaught that they're just supposed to like keep doing the thing that they've done dutifully over and over again, even though like the definition of stupidity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Some reason they just keep plugging away. Those sweet, sweet summer children, sweet summer child. So yeah, like I think maybe they need to see us, their children doing it, modeling it, you know. I feel like, what is it? I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. I've been taught well, and now I'm leading the way. And so, yeah, like gotta pivot, guys. And that I think I'm speaking to like our ideas about, the US and like patriotism and like the myth of like US, like our like goodness and our like, it's really romanticized and whitewashed. And like we're gonna have to grow up, babes. We're gonna have to grow up and we're gonna have to pivot. Because yeah, not pivoting only benefits like the bad guys continuing to win. And that's not gonna happen. So might as well pivot, right? Because that's the way the river's going. That's the way the tides are turning. Okay, so now let me show you this thing that I saw on the interwebs that I was like, ooh, that resonates with what I have been kind of doing recently. Where am I going? Okay, I'm gonna go share screen big. Okay, look at this. The goddess who withdrew, the power of absence. Okay, I haven't checked this out like other than this post, but like it says over here, she is the smoke after the fire, the silence after the collapse, the sovereign truth that remains when illusions burn away. What's their name? I'm not sure. Oh, Dumavati. Should have practiced that. No, it's okay. It's perfect. Dumavati. We honor the goddess who refuses to be palatable. The widow goddess of sacred withdrawal. misunderstood power, and unapologetic being. Oof! I love. She doesn't come to fix. She doesn't come to please. She comes to remind us. Surviving is sacred. Silence is sacred. So is being misunderstood. Where in your life can you embrace the freedom not to participate, to stop explaining, performing, or seeking approval, to simply exist without permission? Yeah, where in your life can you embrace the freedom not to participate? People in the military. Everyone who can boycott and participate in the BDS against Israel. And honestly, probably we should start doing it against the US too. We're the bad guys, so we're gonna have to start thinking about that, start getting creative. But okay, so the goddess who withdrew, the power of absence. Her name is Dumavati. We honor one of the most misunderstood and overlooked Mahavidya. I'm going to assume that's goddess. The smoke-veiled widow, goddess of absence. The power our culture tries to erase. She is what our culture fears most. A woman who has nothing to lose. Who doesn't arrive to fix or please. She comes shrouded in smoke, surrounded by silence. No husband, no adornments, no smile for your comfort. She's not here to be liked. She's here to end illusions. Oh, I love. Yes, that is probably me. Except for the lack of husband, lack of adornments. Even though, like, I'm me without all of those things. So, still works. And I have such a beautiful smile, so you'd never expect, but yep. Okay. No, this side. She doesn't appear at the beginning of your story. She appears at the end. She comes after the job is lost, after the relationship crumbles, the identity no longer fits. She's the goddess of the moment when nothing makes sense anymore, and yet you still exist. In her presence, we realize surviving is sacred, silence is sacred, so is being misunderstood. Very true. Dumavati is often portrayed as isolated, cast out, and uninvited. I love it. And it's true. Society doesn't know what to do with what can't be beautified or made useful. Her story doesn't end there, though. She doesn't chase re-entry. She finds something else in that space, a strange sovereign power that comes when you stop trying to be digestible. That's what I have been leaning into and embodying with like all the areas of my life. You know, because we are taught to like fear being disliked, fear being like, yeah, cast out, or being seen as like, you know, unwanted. But like, who cares what you hoes want? Who wants to hang out with you guys? Just kidding. Not the people watching this, but you know what I mean. Yeah, but like, silence is sacred. Being misunderstood is sacred. It so is. And yeah, the sovereign power that comes when you stop being digestible. That's what's been like so amazing recently. Like, I've just been really like loving myself and trusting myself and like doing what I want, even and maybe especially if it's not what other people want me to do. I'm like, oh, okay, no, I'm definitely not gonna listen. But yeah, like we're supposed to want to be digestible, consumable, palatable, literally, like palatable. We want to be able to like taste good, like to be consumed. Like, no, um, right, right. Let's get back. Yeah. In Tantra, Withdrawal is not escape, it's an act of lucidity to step back from performative personalities, to become silent, not from bitterness, but from clarity, is to enter into deeper alignment. Dhumavati is that clarity, the refusal to be available to what drains, the ability to exist without offering explanation, a sacred kind of distance. Yeah, totally. That's what I've been doing. And like, I found my family will be like, you have to talk to us. You have to engage with us. You have to explain. And if I, explain and they don't like it, they're like, no, that's not good enough. I don't understand that. No, it doesn't make sense. The power of existing without offering explanation. It's been so amazing to just be misunderstood, to just recognize that like, that doesn't feel aligned. I don't want to. That drains me. I don't like how I feel around you, these people, this environment. And just like not being available for it, not like even acknowledging it, not making a big fuss or like, oh, but like, nope. Beautiful. Yeah, step back from performative personalities. Yeah, I'm not like, performing like, I'm like the good daughter, I'm like the middle, I'm like the artsy, fun, like quirky one. Still all that, but, not performing it. You're not what they project. When you stop reacting, people may feel disoriented, confused, hurt, not because you've harmed them, but because you've stopped being predictable, and they don't know how to be okay with that. Dhumavati's silence cracks the mirror. It returns projections to their source. She reminds us and soothes us in the remembering that their discomfort is not your burden. Yes, totally. Yeah, that's what I've been, seeing. Like, I'm literally just like not doing anything. I just withdraw. I just call back my energy. And my family's been mad about it. It has revealed. I'm like, oh wow, they do feel, entitled to my energy because I've given it to them. And even though like, and they want it only in like a very fractured way where they can pick and choose and then like discard the rest. And I'm not digestible, y'all. That's not me anymore. And yeah, their discomfort is not my burden. And that's like, my family will try to be like kind of like I am causing this. I'm making everything difficult. I'm making everyone uncomfortable. Well, I guess the divine wants you uncomfortable, my loves. I guess that's what that is. I guess the divine wants you uncomfortable in a time of genocide. The power of being unaccommodating. Her divinity is not earned through youth, even though so youthful, usefulness, even though so vital and powerful, or palatability and, just so enchanting and delicious. But yeah, her divinity is not earned through youth, usefulness, or palatability. She is sacred without adornment, revered without needing to be wanted. In honoring her, we unlearn the idea that worth comes through approval. Dhumavati shows us that there is a fearsome power in becoming unaccommodating, in being unaccommodating. So true. I've really enjoyed it. I feel like I've just like, honestly, I learned kind of from men, how to be unaccommodating. Like my brother-in-law, they don't like, if they don't want to do something, they just like don't. And like everyone's like, well, they don't want to do it. So like, I'm like, oh, wait, that was an option? Oh my goodness, y'all. And like, once I got a taste of it, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going back. I love being unaccommodating now. Oh my God. Yeah, no. Like, yeah, revered without needing to be wanted. Yes. Sacred without adornment. I love it. I love it. The freedom not to participate. Dhumavati teaches us that power doesn't always come from being visible, active, or agreeable. She shows us that we don't have to participate in every expectation projected onto us and conditioned into us. We're allowed to step back. We're allowed to say no without explanation. We're allowed to not do. GI. We don't have to participate in every expectation projected onto us and conditioned into us. GI. We're allowed to step back. We're allowed to say no without explanation. We're allowed to not do. GI. So, yeah, maybe you guys should do that. But yeah, that's also what I've just been doing. Like my family, I'm just like, nope. I just like decline, invitations to, go to cookouts, to go to gatherings. I just decline. Nope. I don't offer an explanation. I just don't want to. I don't want to go. That's the explanation. And like, I just want to hang out and not do that. There's a sacredness in choosing not to engage, in letting cycles end without rescuing them, in allowing ourselves to be misunderstood without rushing to correct the narrative. Yeah, that's what I've been like, I see them like, wanting to try to like egg me on, try to say something about my character or say something about, some prior bad act. And I just let them be wrong. They expect me to go, oh no, that's not what happened. It was this, nope, I don't care. I'm an interesting person. So of course you guys are going to talk about me. Comes with the territory. That's okay. What other people think of me is none of my damn business, as RuPaul would say. We don't have to be accessible, legible, or approved of. Legible, yes. In the space of non-doing, non-reacting, non-performing, another kind of power begins to rise, presence without permission. Yeah, I don't want to do all that. But, yeah. We don't have to be accessible, legible, or approved of. And I think that's, like, really important for... I think it's really important for women to really internalize that, integrate that into your nervous system. You don't have to be accessible, legible, or approved of. You're still safe, even if people can't get in touch with you, even if people don't understand you, even if people are displeased with you, even if people want you. You don't have to go to every party you invited to, babe. You shouldn't. I know, like, one of the things one of my least favorite experiences is when I do something that I didn't want to do just because I like told myself I had to. And then I realized like, oh no, I didn't. I didn't have to do this. So why did I do it? Why am I out here doing things I don't want to do? Never again. Okay, let me get off of here. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think I made enough of the connections. I did. I'm sleepy. Okay, bring your forehead on up to the screen. Yeah. I love you. This is all made up, and it's getting so absurd. So, better get up on in here. Start making it up the way you want to. Yeah, and you don't have to make sense. You don't have to make sense, Sheba. So, that's for you, girl. Yeah. So beautiful. Wow. Wow, just like such perfection. I hope YouTube chooses stills from some of those, because it always chooses like one where I'm like, why did you choose that? Anyway, um, thanks you guys. I love you. If you made it to the end, please drop um a strawberry or a butterfly. The strawberry is for Juneteenth. I want to say like strawberry is one of the things that you like have on Juneteenth. Um, but like a butterfly also works. Yeah. Okay. And like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. Join the team, squad, community. Yeah. Coven. Yeah. Okay. I love you. I'll see you later. See you tomorrow. Okay. For Hot Mic, and then another episode of See Like Shiva. Ooh, oh my gosh, so beautiful. So lucky for you guys. All right. I love you. I will see you later. Bye.